You are listening to Venus Rose, interactive spiritual Q&A and the power of sound. Music is like sunshine.
Hello, conscious souls. How are you feeling? The solar eclipse is upon us. The hypersensitive ones out there, you may have felt the energies in your bodies the last days. The gateway of the lunar eclipse of the last 2 weeks, since the 7th of September, that asked us to rinse out old stuff that is no longer needed, is closing with the partial solar eclipse in the last degrees of Virgo today. A graduation point, as the astrologer Molly McCord says. A moment to acknowledge what you have mastered. A new moon initiates this eclipse, combined with the equinox in Libra some hours later. They usher you in to a new era of life, a next level of what you came here to explore. I always ask you about your feelings, 'cause they influence everything, your thoughts, your emotions, and with it, your physical body as well. Today's episode is going to be different than usual. We have a guest. I invited Daniela in, a brilliant osteopath, massage therapist, and my friend. For everyone who might be in her area, I will leave her website in the show notes so you can reach out if you want to book an appointment with her and her magical hands. I thought, what could be a better way to talk about health and our physical bodies than to have a conversation with a fellow pro practitioner about these things? Would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners?
Hello, Rose. Yes, I might do that. So, I'm Daniela. I work as an osteopath and a massage therapist in my own clinic in Hamburg. And, well, we've known each other for quite a while, so thank you for your invitation.
Of course, I'm so happy to have you. Today our episode is about health and about the physical body, and since you are a massage therapist, I would like to ask you, how did you get here? What made you decide to go into the direction that you went on?
Well, I suppose it was part of my very own individual inner journey in trying to find my way in life or even my purpose. I was traveling a lot in different places and I was trying out so many different things, but I felt like there was something I could do with my hands and I didn't really know what it was. And it was a coincidence that I got into massages. First of all, they were not professional at all, but it was me just trying and backing myself up with a lot of intuition and gut feeling, I suppose, which might not be the best way, but it was mine.
Maybe it is the best way?
Well, I feel that we as women, sometimes the straight line from A to B is rather in a circle or in a spiral than a straight line, and I've done lots of spirals in this life and it brought me to the place where I am right now.
That sounds beautiful. We all have our spirals, and the good thing about spirals, they go in circles, but they go up as well.
Oh yes, they do. So yes, I suppose it was my way of life, like the situation when you do not know what to do and you have the freedom of choice, and I've made my choices. So that was the first time I took a little oil in my hand and I went to offer my work to people, and I actually found out that the response was very well and that I really enjoyed what I was doing. So I realized, okay, if I really want to do this in a professional way, I should start taking some classes. And it took me some time to actually get to a school where I would take those classes. And it was a dear friend of mine, who told me, oh, if you want to do this, then go to that school and do it there. And I was like, well, okay. That was the only recommendation I had. So to be honest, I didn't really think about it. So I started going to that school, and all of my massage teachers were already osteopaths. So actually, I stumbled from the massages into osteopathy without thinking too much about it. And I just found this beautiful world where my hands had a lot of meaning, and the things I did they felt so natural, and it felt so right. There was so much truth for me there that I don't even feel that it was a decision. It was knowing that that was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
So just like a higher calling.
Maybe, yes. It came together with a lot of changes in my life, and old skins were needed to be torn off, and new ones were necessary to be grown. And yes, it was not a logical decision. It was something that just seems to have happened. In a way, we might even be able to call it destiny. It was just, that's just, if life has the freedom to go the way it wants to go, it just goes. And I suppose that's what happened to me. So I finished my osteopathy training, and one of my teachers, he already told me about Humone. So I came back to Hamburg, to my hometown, and I looked him up, and I actually found out that he was giving classes in Hamburg. It was just another coincidence that at that very point of time, he was taking a sabbatical. And I really felt like, I would like to teach. Well, I would like to learn from him. I would like to have him as a teacher. That's why I decided to wait a little bit. But I got myself the book, or the 2 books he's written and that he's using for his classes. And while I was reading those books, I really felt like, yes, this is what I want to do. A few things were very natural to me, where I felt like, I'm already doing this, so that comes in handy. But there were other things where I felt like, oh my God, would I be able to learn this? And it just felt so magical and beautiful. And then, another circle. Life took another round. It took me another 4 years until I actually made my inscription to his classes. And then, I started training with him. And today it's already finished. I've been going through all those 7 classes he's having in his school. And then there were other changes as well. I met a wonderful teacher in the school. It's so funny because I went out to meet him, and right now I would say, in a way, I found her, because that was like the next step of teaching for me that got even deeper, like deep rooting into feminine energy, you might be able to say. And to this day, I'm still quite active in the school. And I'm still working with that teacher of mine, who's just this powerful, wonderful person who's got a great gift that she's bringing into the world. And it's just a big joy to be able to be a part of that.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. Yes. I also have a teacher, and I think it's so necessary today to be able to have someone we can honor and not just make a like or follow on social media or something, but if there is someone you would like to follow in their perspectives, follow in the way that you can appreciate how they teach. I think this is something in today's day and age that is kind of rare.
It is. It really is. I think we all are in a place where we are longing for teachers in a way, but also finding a teacher is something very individual. And it's not about making a copy or a simulation of what we have learned. It's rather to get inspired by that kind of music that is brought to us, and make our own song out of it. So obviously we all have a lot of teachers in this life, and I think they all deserve to be honored.
Yes.
And
even those who are difficult at some times.
Well, even the difficult teachers are important teachers. And sometimes it's those we learn the most from. And yes, but sometimes then there are people that actually become a part of the way we are walking on. And that is just so precious and wonderful to have those people.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. For me, I realized in my work that my clients, customers, however you are going to call them, are also teachers in their own way, because I'm learning from them. That's what I tell them. Each time we come into a conversation or a session together, then I am learning from what they bring to the table and what their soul is bringing to the forefront.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. And there's something very special and sacred about the student's eye, the beginner's mind.
Yeah.
And even though we are the therapists, it's so important for us to be there and to honor the other person that's in front of us.
Absolutely, and to be open and open enough to listen and to be able to see things from different perspectives.
Totally. And maybe it's even about helping them see. So in my experience, what happens a lot is that within this stressful and rather hectic lifestyle we are having, a lot of people, they rather live in their heads instead of their bodies.
Yes.
And it takes them the time to actually calm down and start to feel inside themselves. And even though they do, they question themselves. They question their own feelings, which is like, oh, it feels like this and that, but oh, no, that can't be. This feels rather stupid. It's like, no, this is a real feeling. Let me just honor this truth within you, because it's your body who knows. We take away the wisdom of our bodies. I think that is something that is happening in this modern world. Like, the head took over all of the decision making, and the body is just, yeah, it seems to be like the container, but we don't give it a lot of credit, or, well, that's not rightfully said, but we tend to not give it a lot of credit, because our head wants to carry on, right? Like, we have to get to an appointment, we have to be faster, we have to get this done before, or we need to go to work, and this and that is necessary. So if my body right now is telling me, no, I need to rest, I cannot have it, because it does not fit within my schedule or within the need that I have to fulfill. And yeah, sometimes part of the work is actually getting back to the body and listen to it, because this body will get sick. And then we are totally surprised and even angry and disappointed, and we do not understand why. Why are you leaving me behind right now? Why are you not keeping up with me? And sometimes the answer of the body is just a very faint, I've tried. But if we don't listen carefully enough,
Exactly.
we don't hear it.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I do admire about your work, is working directly with the body. I do work with the body as well. We often talked about that before, but I think it's such an honorable thing to get in contact directly with the body. I do get in contact through too, but in a different way than you do. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to touch. I think touch and being tender with the hands is such a special way of healing. And although I know you are quite fiery, not only because of your zodiac sign and everything that comes with it in your birth chart, but anyway, you still have a quite grounding energy. And I myself, I'm a being that tends to be a lot of vata at a certain point, so I do need to bring myself back into my body. And yeah, so that's a thing that I just think is fascinating, a thing that you do. So I would like to know, what do you enjoy most, if there is something like that? What do you enjoy most about your calling?
Oh, that's a tricky question because there's so many aspects of it. And obviously we've talked about this subject a lot. And here again, it's me who would say, oh, this just comes to me in a very natural way. I believe that it is good that we have ways of treating the body from a distance, and it's also very necessary that we keep in touch. I feel that touch is very important in this world. And what I love about my work is that through touch there is so much communication that does not necessarily has to be put into words. And words are very good, don't get me wrong. I think words are wonderful and we can do so much with them, but sometimes they can be kind of fence. Sometimes they can make things smaller, because they become a shape where a feeling could be so much more. So I think there's a great need for all those different niches to be occupied. And I love about this work that I kind of found mine. And obviously it's still evolving. I'm still evolving. I'm still learning. So it is like life itself. Life is never still. There might be a still point which is necessary, but then it moves on. Mm-hmm. There's always movement. There's always balance. There's always the wish for balance. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, we try to balance ourselves out. Mm-hmm. And I feel that I do that with my work as well. I do talk a little bit, but then hands find their way. And that is something that I bring to the table. Other people are better in other things. I'm not too visual in that sense, but I do feel that my hands kind of have eyes, and that is how I can feel places in the body, or I get intrigued by places in the body, and usually there's a reason for it. And then sometimes the words come, but usually those words, they're not clear. It's not like, oh, here's the problem, so you should do this or that or that. It's rather something poetic, or a story, or maybe just a song or something like that. And I'm so grateful for all those little surprises, because every person is different, and every time the same person steps into my clinic, it is also different, which it's wonderful. It's like life itself. It's always changeable, and you always have to adapt.
Just like the body does with us, or has to keep up with us. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you very much. And what are the things that you think might be more challenging in your kind of work?
Of course, there are always challenges, and we are talking about something that is rather spiritual in a world that is rather not. So my personal struggles have to do with how much time do I need myself for rest. It took me a long time to find out how many sessions am I able to give in a day without giving out too much of my own energy, and having enough to be able to rest and carry on tomorrow. I feel that everyone has their own rhythm. Some people can work a lot through some part of time, and then they just rest for a longer time. Some others need to do it over a larger period and rather not work that much a day, and then be able to carry on. So yeah, I suppose that is one of the challenges. And of course, within my work, we do a lot of intuitive work. So what we need to do is to be pretty much sincere with ourselves. Like, where am I standing today? And sometimes we do not want to know those truths. Like, oh, I'm totally stressed out, but I'm working with this, so I cannot be stressed out, so I'm not stressed out. Yeah, I would like to not be stressed out, and I would like to never be in a bad mood, and I would like to only have wonderful days, but it's just not like that, and sometimes we have to accept them ourselves. So, yeah, always coming back to myself and making sure, okay, where am I? And then, of course, we have the sometimes certain feelings are transferred from one person to the other. Like, there's this one example. I was giving a session, and in the middle of the session I felt like, oh, I'm starving, I'm so hungry. And eventually I got actually angry with myself, because I thought, oh my god, couldn't I have eaten earlier so I could just enjoy giving this session right now? So, well, however, I tried to give this session an elegant ending, and when this girl stood up from a massage table, she was saying, oh, I'm so hungry now. I'm gonna get to something to eat because I haven't eaten all day. And actually being able to realize, oh, maybe that's not mine. And not blaming myself. First thing, that was another challenge. And in different ways, it comes back. It's also balance seeking. It's also trying to find the middle. Like, where am I standing today? And being open. I feel that we come back to the same things over and over again. Be flexible, be open. Don't judge. Don't judge yourself.
Exactly. Not the easiest thing in such a dualistic world we are living in, but yeah, we are all learning every day, or at least we should try to. That's my perspective. Oh, so beautifully said. So I would like to ask you, what would you like, what would you like to say to the listeners? What would you like to remind them about in concerning our body, since you're working with the body, with the physical body in such a deep and intimate and sacred way? What would you like the people to think about or remind them about?
I'd like to remind every one of us that we are a spiritual being in a material body. But even this material body can be quite spiritual. And I think it's so important to listen to our bodies. And at the same time to listen to ourselves, right? There's so much wisdom and truth in every one of us, and we have answers to so many questions, but sometimes we do not want to believe ourselves. So try to believe in yourself just a little bit. Maybe think of yourself as your best friend just for a moment, and try to listen. What is she telling you? And then you still have time to decide. And I think another thing I really would like to remind everyone is actually one of the basics of osteopathy, which is actually not the question, where's the problem? Usually people come to my clinic and they say, oh, I've got pain here and there. And obviously they want me to take care of that pain. But the question I'm asking myself is actually, where is their health? Where's the motivation to carry on? Where's this big force inside the body that tries to adapt to everything and tries to make that this very person it is carrying is able to do their life the best way possible within the capabilities of that body? So yeah, listen to yourself and try to find your place of health. Where's your inner temple? I think that would be a nicer phrase.
Where's your inner temple? Okay, that's beautiful. So it's a kind of to get a certain focus or a certain way to listen to the body, to find where this, or how do you think people can find their inner temple?
Well, kind of. It's a bit of a relationship building, isn't it? Because find the inner temple within you. It's like, okay, and where should I start to find?
Yes, that's why I was asking the people. So is it about focus, or is it about listening, or maybe everyone has his own way, but yeah.
I feel that everyone has their individual way, but then at the same time, it's a mixture of all that, right? It is a bit of focus, but it's also listening. Maybe it will take some time. Maybe you need to actually calm down a little bit. Give yourself some rest before you can listen. Or maybe you go and see a practitioner, a therapist, who's able to help you and find that little bit of peace again. But yeah, build a relationship with yourself, with your body, and be assured that at every moment of your life, your body is trying its best to make you as efficient, capable, and healthy as it is possible. And maybe just trying to help it out a little bit. Just get yourself enough sleep, get yourself some good food, have some fun, go out with friends, laugh. Laughter is such a good thing for us. There are so many things that we know that are not good for our health. But social relationships, including being able to laugh with people that we appreciate, is one of the biggest medicines we've got in this life. So, yeah, make that yours.
Thank you very much. That's beautiful. Thank you very much, and thank you for following my invitation. And yeah, I think this was a wonderful conversation, and I hope that the people enjoy it as much as I do. And yeah, what else is there to say? I think Daniela already put it all together in the most beautiful words. Listen to your body. Try to find your own temple in whatever way is the most appropriate for you. And I would like to put Daniela's website into the show notes so that everyone who is around in Germany, in the northern sphere, and is nearby, so to speak, can be able to book an appointment with her. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Once again. And I hope this is the first time and not the last one. So, and yeah, for everyone else, I wish you a beautiful time, and be mindful with yourself with this solar eclipse energies. It's also the equinox. We are heading into Libra season, into Venus season. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, what is coming. And just as always, I'd like you to send me some questions around Libra themes, just like relationships, but also justice as well, and other things that need to be balanced. Libra also rules finances. Not everybody knows that, but Venus and Aphrodite, just like in the Greek mythology, those girls, they had money. And so all this stuff is also related to them. So any kind of questions, just leave them for me in the comments of my YouTube channel named Crystal Seraphim Sound, or on the Instagram. For all of those who are not on social media, just send me an email. You can find everything in the show notes. So thank you for listening, for tuning in, for just vibing with us today. I feel so glad that we did this. And yeah, hope I see you on the next one. And I wish everyone out there a beautiful time. And as always, let me know what moves you. Love to you all. Rose.